On our side of thing, just a closed walkthrough for us today. Only DNP yesterday was Myles Garrett with the ankle. That's, I'm sure, veteran. Nothing to really be too worried about there. Kevin Stefanski confirmed yesterday that his injury occurred in the Lions game over the weekend. Meantime, on the Minnesota side of things, in preparation for the game Sunday at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, quarterback J.J. McCarthy did not practice today, nor did backup center Michael Jordans. With starting center Ryan Kelly in concussion protocol, the Vikings will be down to their third-string center in Blake Brandel. Crazy thing here is Minnesota's got like 3 starters on their offensive front, and they are trying out people at center.
Yeah, that's against this D-line?
That's right.
That is the worst time to be doing that.
That ain't it.
Yeah, that's we definitely should take advantage of that. That's I would imagine Jim Schwartz dials something up. Maybe we see Myles play a little inside this game. I mean, that would be nice.
Well, you remember him doing the basketball moves?
Yeah, hit him
Like
with the Euro step.
Euro step through. Yeah, I mean, I think all of those things are in play. Look, this league right now is walking wounded. We have had catastrophic injuries to faces of the league, bright young players. The one thing, though, that I think is a consistent, and this isn't an easy fix, it's not a quick fix. There are not enough quality offensive linemen playing football anymore. There just aren't.
Is it that, or is the D-line just that good?
I think it's both.
Yeah, because we talking about some freaks at the D-line spot now. Like, these guys are super athletic nowadays, and it's very hard for these offensive linemen to be able to keep up with those guys. I mean, you talk about speed and power that these guys have. Like, Myles Garrett is a one of one. You telling me you want somebody to try to block him?
Yeah.
And then when your starter goes down, now you're asking your backup to do it. I think it's just a big, tall order now on these offensive linemen. I wonder if we'll ever get to a point where maybe we see them slim down a little bit to try to keep up.
So very good question. So my theory on it is twofold. Number one, I always follow the money on anything, right? And so what we've seen in the last decade, obviously defensive end is paid at a premium. Tackle is played at a premium.
Yes.
But what we've seen in the last decade, and I think Aaron Donald's a big part of it among others, is you've seen interior defensive linemen be compensated at a very, very high level. And so if you are a big body boy and all of a sudden you're saying, which side should I choose?
Defense.
I'm going defense.
Yeah.
Plus defense, you get to hit people. It's more fun. It's more glamorous. It's all those things. So, like, I think that's part of it. And then I think the other part's what you just said. We have never had athletes like we have currently at defensive end the way we have them in this league.
Yeah.
And you just – I mean, Myles is the apex of it, but you think of TJ. I mean, there's so many guys out there. Micah Parsons. So many of these guys who are just freak athletes coming around the edge. And it's just – so when that first rung of guy goes out, the drop-off is massive.
Yes. I mean, it's like that I wouldn't say it like that. The corners can be like that as well, where you have that guy that's a one-of-one, and if he goes out, now you're scrambling around trying to find another guy that can be adequate in that game. So it's something that happens all over the field, but it is the biggest difference on that offensive line. Because it changes the entire game plan. If we can't block that guy, we can't run those plays. So it's massive, and they got to find a way to get depth at that position.
All right, the big news of the week around here is the change at quarterback from Joe Flacco to Dillon Gabriel. What was your view of the timing of the switch from Flacco to Gabriel, and what do you expect Kevin to do with Dillon Sunday that maybe he was unable to get done with Joe before that?
Well, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I predicted
it's never stopped you before.
I predicted it. I said that the London game against the Vikings would be the game that they would make the switch. I know people put a lot of stock in the fact that it's over in London and all of those things, but I treat this like it's a normal game week, and I think Dillon will as well, and I think the organization would treat us the same. It's just a regular game week. It's not like he hasn't been in quarterback meetings. It's not like he haven't seen game plans and all of those things. It's not like those coaches aren't asking Dillon questions in those meetings about what we're going to do in the game. So I think he's going to be prepared for it. I think that the difference that we'll see is maybe with the tackle situation, maybe now we get some more mobility. Now we can roll the quarterback out a little bit. Maybe we can get those boots back in there if we do decide to go under center. But I see that pocket moving a lot. You know, I was thinking about a guy like Kyler Murray in the Cardinals. Kyler Murray he's been decent in his NFL career, but they're running the same offense that the Cleveland Browns will be running. So if the height is not a problem for a guy like Kyler Murray, then I don't think it should be a problem for a guy like Dillon Gabriel. And it's not like he hasn't been dealing with this his entire career.
Been this height his whole long
everybody
time.
act like, oh, he got to the NFL and like this is the first time he gonna go against tall people. He's literally dealt with it his entire career. So I think he has a plan, and I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think if you think about how you get to this point, we haven't scored 20 points in a non-Jameis Winston quarterback game since
the Jets
2023.
2023, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So it hasn't worked offensively. It wasn't all Joe's fault. Far from it.
Yeah.
Our tackle situation up until this point, because of injury,
is real.
It's a problem, and it's a swinging gate. And so when you're talking about now a 40-year-old man, and you're talking about in the NFL a game of milliseconds can be the difference if you get it out or if you don't, or if you can buy a half second at a time or if you can't. And Joe just isn't able to do that anymore with what's happened with our offense. The other thing that you're going to have to do with this offense, you mentioned moving the pocket. The other thing is the ball's got to come out quick.
Yes.
And the way that Kevin designs all of this, and the reason he won 2-time NFL Coach of the Year twice, is because he puts you in a position to flip your head and spin it to a spot, and that spot to be open. That's the job.
Yeah.
And that's what Dillon did. Dillon can do that. He did that at Oklahoma. He did it at Oregon.
Yep.
He gets it out quick. He's ultra bright, and he is a student of the game as much as you're ever going to find. He will be prepared for whatever Brian Flores throws at him.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if he'll execute all of it because he's never been in this spot.
That's
not
true.
like this.
It'll be some jitters there for
sure.
I mean,
and
it's his first start.
Absolutely. I'm with you, though. I actually think the timing of it's really nice because Dillon Gabriel has quarterbacked started 60 games in college football.
Yeah.
Every one of those seasons ended with a bowl game. Mm-hmm. This kind of feels like a bowl game.
It's funny you bring that up. So I was looking at the great Bill Parcells, and he had like 7 rules that he looked for when he went to draft a quarterback. Do you know Dillon Gabriel checks all 7 of them? You want to hear what they are?
Give it to me. Wait, I got my pen.
So the number one thing, must be a senior.
Okay.
Check. He must be a 3-year starter. Check. Graduated from college. I'm going to assume he was there for 6 years. He probably did.
But multiple degrees, I think.
Number 4, start at least 30 games. Check.
Double that.
Win 23 of those games. Check. Post a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Check. And lastly, complete at least 60% of his passes. Check.
With flying colors.
And that's Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells.
Yeah, he has played a lot of football. And if you think of the guys in recent years who have come in and played right away and been successful, whether it's Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels, a lot of these guys, even Drake May, who came in towards the end of last year and is off to a nice start to his season this year, Brock Purdy with San Francisco. Mm-hmm. What you get is the guys that have had a lot of the success right away are guys who played a ton of football. Even Jackson Dart last week, he started a lot of games at Ole Miss. And this is a massive transition to the NFL, but he's played a lot of football. Dillon Gabriel has played a ton of football. And I think – go ahead.
I'm interested to see – I'm not so much worried about Dillon Gabriel because he does come off as a guy that's going to be confident. He's going to be calm, and he's going to be poised, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering who steps up for him. Even with Joe Flacco, we've had guys drop the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we can't always put it all on Joe for the offense not looking as great. It was times that Jerry Jeudy dropped the ball or Harold Fanning dropped the ball. Like, it's been guys doing that. So knowing that you're transitioning to this young guy, I wonder what veteran says, you know what, I'm going to step up today. I'm going to make those plays. Because completions equals confidence. The more that Dillon Gabriel completes that ball, the more confident he will be in the rest of that game. So those veterans, actually, the David Njoku's, Jerry Jeudy, Bond, Harold Fan, all those guys have to step up and make those plays because it's going to help Dillon settle in.
I think the other thing that's going to help him settle in is that Minnesota's defense, while great, they have been susceptible to the ground game.
Yeah.
So I would assume a steady diet of number 10 is in the makings for Sunday in a big way.
Sure.
And I think the other thing that you could see is I think when you're thinking about getting it out quick, one thing we haven't been as good at the last couple of weeks as we were week 1 is getting it to the backs. Like, I'm curious, does Sampson have a bigger role catching passes out of the backfield, or Jerome Ford, or even Q? And then Fannin and Chief. Chief has been pretty quiet to start this season.
Yeah.
Do we see some plays from him getting the ball out quickly?
That's the guy that I'm really trying to figure out, is he going to be the X factor in this game? Because, I don't know if Harrison Smith is healthy or not, but he's getting older. And if you're putting him in man-to-man situations nowadays, I think David Njoku should be able to get that. Obviously, we run a ton of 12 personnel, which is what I like because it forced them to play base. Now you got linebackers checking these two athletic tight ends. I do believe that can be the difference makers of a game. And another guy, Jamari Thrash. I know it was in the preseason, but that was the guy that Dylan Gabriel was very comfortable going to. He's a slot receiver. He can line up and make some plays. I'm curious to see if that chemistry is still there from the preseason.
My hunch is that it will. I love that's an astute point out of you. If you remember when Bake first got in, a lot of his early targets,
Tight end.
well, but also Hollywood Higgins.
Oh yeah. They had a nice connection. Yeah,
they did. And where did that come from? Camp.
Yeah.
There was familiarity there.
They worked together
They
all
worked.
through camp.
Yeah. So that, obviously threw it to Jarvis a lot too. But at the beginning, Hollywood Higgins had a much bigger role than he had previously because there was that familiarity that was there. Let me ask you this. How would you as a player now the team has been over there since they got in, I guess, this morning in London. They've already done a walkthrough.
Okay.
What is your sense of how you would handle a 5-hour time change on a game?
The hardest part is going to sleep. So how I would do it is, did they catch a red eye?
Yeah, they flew through the night. Flew last night.
So the best way to transition your body to that time is to sleep on the plane and then just stay up for that day and then go to sleep that night at a reasonable time, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time it's going to be. That's the best way to get your body acclimated to that time change because anything else, you're going to be either up later or you're going to go to sleep way too early. So I think for them, the best plan would have been sleep on the plane, which is going to be very hard to do. You got to grind it through the day. They did a walkthrough today.
Yep.
So it wasn't going to be a hard day on your body. Grind through the day, get a good sleep tonight.
When you were with Seattle and you guys would play East Coast, that's a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
How much was that effect?
Well, it was always nice to go 2 days earlier so you have that whole day to get your body acclimated. We usually get there by the time we land because we would leave after a Friday practice. So we're leaving anywhere from 3 o'clock Pacific time. By the time we land, it's like 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And it's like, well, it's time to go to bed.
Right, right.
They'd give us like a dinner or something like that, and then it's like, well, time to go to bed and try to get our bodies acclimated. So people were pretty good at that. Me, I tried to keep myself on Eastern Standard Time even when I went out there because if I needed the extra time, I would wake up at 3 o'clock over there, but it's 6 o'clock to me. So, like, if I'm still tired, I can go to sleep for 3 more hours if I wanted to. So I did a really good job of keeping my body actually set on Eastern Standard Time.
Do you think there's an advantage to Minnesota already being over there?
I mean, obviously, yeah, because they're already, their bodies is acclimated. They know what to expect. This isn't their first game out of the country. They've went through this. So, this is not foreign to them to where the Browns will have that. Like, okay, we can't do this or we can and cannot do that. We need to be prepared for the game. This is the best way to get ourselves prepared. They don't know that because they haven't gone through that to where Minnesota has. They was like, all right, last week I did this and it worked for me, or this didn't work for me. So they got that going for them. But at the end of the day, it should be fine. The Browns will be fine.
You ever been to London?
No. But the funny thing is, so when I was here in 2017, right, for my cup of tea, OTAs, I believe that they were going to play overseas that year.
Yeah, I think they did.
Unfortunately, I gained 20 pounds and I wasn't as fast as I once was, and I was not as good as I once was, so I didn't make the team.
I think it's probably it's one of those things as a player that you see it on the schedule and go, oh God.
Yeah.
But once they're there,
I
bet you get a shot of adrenaline, and you're doing the beef eaters, and you're on the red
especially
buses.
Especially if you've never been there before.
Yeah,
it's like it's not a vacation because you're still there on a business trip, but the good organization gives you a little time to go out and explore a little bit. Go get about an hour or two, go see something, come back, just get it out your system, and let's lock in.
Not quite the way like a bowl game would be.
No, bowl game, like you get like a whole week.
Shoot whatever you want.
Get a whole week.
Maybe like college football playoff feel to it.
There you go.
Where you get a little bit of that. That's probably the way that it's going to go. Those are your hot topics of the day. They are presented by the University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, we head across the pond. Z Siciliano from London. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fandom of the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now we head across the pond. Z and Siciliano. What's happening, fellas?
Thanks, guys.
You're down.
Yeah, buddy.
London, England. Well, not really London, England. The outskirts of London,
I
England.
believe technically it's Watford.
It is Watford.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Watford, here we are. Long night.
How you feeling?
You know, I felt better.
Like you got run over by a golf cart.
Yeah, I felt better. What I want to just get out right off the top, because I think it's important to do so, is we're flying as a team. Like, we all know each other.
Sure.
This isn't like flying on a red eye with a bunch of strangers. And I don't know who made the idea now that nobody can recline their seats. I think it's absurd.
I think everybody should be allowed to recline their seats.
Everybody recline. 100%.
But there was
recline,
no
and it's all
email.
the same.
There was no email that went out that said don't recline
No,
your seat.
nobody reclines.
I am one of the people that says there's a button on that armrest for a reason. Everybody's allowed to put the armrest back, and I get people yelling at me saying, "Wait, I'm 6'4". You shouldn't do that. You're a tiny person. Why would you? You don't get it." I'm like, I don't care. There's a button. Move it back.
If everybody is in the reclined position,
Yes.
it's the same as if everybody's not in the reclined position.
Yes.
Except we're all more comfortable.
That's like my dad's idea that when the red light turns to green, everybody should simultaneously hit go or
He's
hit
not
the
wrong.
gas
It
pedal.
just has to be-
And everybody should go. I'm like, well, Dad, then why don't you hop in an automated car and see how you like that, buddy?
Everybody would need to be at the same speed. Here we all have the exact same amount of recline built
Thank
into the
you.
seat. So we would be in the same situation as if we weren't reclining, except more comfortable.
Now, let me say this.
Yeah.
Is that obviously you're much taller than me. This just in. If I can't recline the seat, it's okay. Like I'll survive. I prefer the seat reclined.
I certainly prefer
You,
Yeah.
you as a taller human probably need the seat reclined more than me.
And I even had Gibbe in front of me, and Gibbe, just because he is such a stud, forces that seat into a reclined position. He doesn't want to be in a reclined position. So I was double squished.
Well, you said earlier.
You didn't recline, but your je ne sais quoi imparts enough force on the seat that it is back. You were back a few inches beyond the middle seat, and I know that because when I was trying to sleep this way on my 80th different sleeping position like this, then you'd be like, that's it.
I love how we touch down in England and you begin speaking French.
Well, that's what you listen. When in Rome. All right, we got a football game to play. The Browns, the Minnesota Vikings. Turns out whenever the Browns play internationally, they play the Minnesota
Yes.
Vikings. I don't know if you know
And Kevin
this or not.
Stefanski's here.
Correct. I don't know if you know this or not, but the first game that I ever called was the 2017 game between the Browns and the Vikings.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Deke got sick. I think they pretty much told me, like, as I'm getting on the plane, and away we went. And we called it in the stadium, in the crowd, at, what was it, Twickenham?
Twickenham, yes.
We were in the crowd, no monitors. And when I mean in the crowd, I mean like we were in the crowd. Like
Fans.
here.
Supporters.
Here.
Spectators.
Supporters, yes. All of it. So
Yeah.
that was my first ever experience. So now it's cool to me to come home to London full circle for Browns Vikings 8 years later.
This game also doesn't have Joe Thomas, although we're going to see the Hoff a little bit later. That was the first game that
Yes.
Joe Thomas missed. And the previous week was the last game of his Gold Jacket career. Yeah. That game also didn't have Miles. Miles is in
correct.
concussion protocol, did not make the journey.
So would Batonio be the only one on our team?
I would have, I guess, right? Now you're quizzing me.
Maybe. And Chief.
And Chief. Wait, yes.
Chief
and
was 17. Chief and Batonio.
Okay, well, there you go.
There we go.
Did you know that the Browns have previously played preseason games in Montreal, Toronto, and here in London in '89?
I do now.
Yeah. I was here on a high school trip a week before the game in 1989.
I got to tell you something. That is a big ask for a preseason.
Preseason game.
Exhibition game. That is a big ask.
Preseason game as the Philadelphia Eagles. I, as a 14-year-old, walked halfway across the city to find a sporting goods store that somebody at the hotel recommended that I go to, and walked in and bought a T-shirt that said Browns-Eagles, Wembley Stadium, 1989.
Well, how about, do you still have it?
I do. It's like threadbare. Yeah.
Perfect.
But it still fits because I'm the same size I was when I was 14 years old.
As we turn our attention to this game, we've got a new quarterback.
Yes, we do. Let's talk about that.
Dillon Gabriel will make his first start. You have noted he is the first player to start their first game at quarterback in an international game.
And this is the very first time that Dillon Gabriel has left the United States of America.
I also did not know that.
He has never been out of the States until as of about 5 hours ago when we landed here. He does not have family here, does not have the fiancée coming. Last second thing, they had not planned to make this trip. So these are my words, not him, not his. Maybe a little bit of calm, a little focus.
Sure.
You're here, you're doing the job, and hopefully he performs well.
To be fair,
Yes.
Hawaii
Yes.
is a much further flight from Cleveland than London.
Yes, and I said to him, Hawaii, you're also halfway to Asia. Maybe you check out Japan
Well, right,
or this
what
or
I'm
that.
saying,
But
I'm
I
saying,
said to
yeah,
him, because we kind of consider Hawaii to be the West Coast, even though it isn't, those of us that sometimes live on the West Coast. And I said, never Mexico, never Cabo. And he's like, we have Hawaii. We don't why? Hawaii's great.
Hawaii is yes, it is. It's not part of, obviously, the continental United States.
It is one of
part
the
United
50 states.
Of course, it's one of the
Yes.
50 states. But that is Timbuktu.
Can I tell you a real quick story? Many years ago, I'm sitting at a hotel bar on the island of Kauai.
Oh,
Okay,
love Kauai.
Beautiful. And I'm sitting there.
Garden Island? Is
Yeah,
that
the
right?
Garden Island. Yeah, and the woman next to me says to the bartender, orders a Mai Tai. And the woman next to me, they hand her the Mai Tai. And she goes, man, this is really, really good. She goes, there's one back home that this is better. This is really good. She goes, I'm from the States. And the bartender looks at her and goes,
So
yeah,
am I.
so am I.
Yeah. These are just the tropical states. I love it. All
right, back to football.
All right.
Dillon Gabriel gets a shot. I thought he looked really good in Baltimore on a very short drive, 3 for 3.
Sure.
Mop-up duty, the touchdown to the other Dylan Sampson. You really couldn't get a feel for anything in Detroit mop-up duty this past week. But I think he's here. I know he's here. I think he is ready for this moment. Joe Flacco yesterday, thought it was very gracious of Joe to get on the podium, open locker room for 5 minutes yesterday. He's a class guy. And he said, listen, Dillon's into it. He's ready for it. This means something to him.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons when you make the trade of Kenny Pickett, what you're saying is we've seen Dillon Gabriel operate, and we believe that he can come and operate. And really, that's all this team needs. Just operate the offense and don't turn the football over and let this defense, which is the number one defense in the NFL, win you games. And let the defense, combination of the defense and Quinshon Judkins, who very much appears to be on a star trajectory early in his career, let that be your identity. Just don't give up. I mean, you think about last week, we talked about it on Browns Daily. The Lions and the Browns each had the same number of drives over 60 yards in that game. And in fact, we had the longest, 88 yards. The Lions and the Browns each had the same number of drives for more than 40 yards in that game, 2 apiece. And they scored 34 points. They had a touchdown drive of 5 yards, a touchdown drive of 20 yards. They scored 17 points off of turnovers, and they had the punt return touchdown. So I rolled quickly on math, 17 plus 7, 24. They really scored 10 points. But we gave them all those points. Just take care of the football, Dillon Gabriel. Operate the offense. And you're talking about we've had some offensive line issues. This is a Minnesota Vikings team that is they're holding tryouts right now. Gibbe might get a look.
Yeah, Gibbe could get a look. If he's shaking his head over there. The Vikings have major issues. Ryan Kelly, and you hope the best for him in concussion protocol for the second time in 3 weeks, so he's not going to play. He couldn't finish the game last week in Dublin. Their number 2 center, Juergens, move over there. Now he's banged up. In essence, as you said, they are having tryouts with a bunch of practice squad guys. They, like the Browns, took their practice squad here. They've got to practice. And we don't know who their center is going to be. Donovan Jackson, the former Buckeye, the first-round pick, the rookie, he is banged up as well. And then you have Brian O'Neill, their right tackle. So the Vikings could very well be down 3 starting offensive linemen and have a practice squad guard playing center. That is not ideal. It is a great opportunity for the Browns pass rush, the Browns whole front 7, to get after Carson Wentz, who is a turnover-prone quarterback. We all know that. It all becomes... Really, in my eyes, it's what can the Browns do to protect Dillon Gabriel? Because say what you want about Joe Flacco, he didn't get a lot of protection, particularly from the 2 tackle positions. That's got to change for Dillon Gabriel. Joe Flacco's 6'6", Dillon Gabriel is not. Oh, we can move the pocket with Dillon Gabriel. Great. Yes, he is far more mobile, but you still need to have your tackles block. And if Jack Conklin can come back, and if Cam Robinson, who is on the trip, acquired a couple of days ago from the Texans, a former Viking facing his former team, one of his former teams, if you could throw him in there and if he could perform, then that is a more comfortable pocket for Dillon Gabriel.
I think this game is going to be about which one of these defenses, and they are both very good. They're top 10 defense. The Browns are obviously the number 1 defense here. They're the number 3. 7 overall, 3 against the pass. This is going to be about which defense can have the game-changing play and or plays, I think, to determine it. You mentioned Carson Wentz. The Browns have beaten Carson Wentz the last 2 times they faced him. 5 interceptions thrown in those 2 games. If we can get those takeaways, give this offense a short field, this could be a very low-scoring game. I mean, Las Vegas has one of the lowest totals I've seen on a National Football League game on this.
What is it, by the way? I don't
37.
know. Okay.
So they're not expecting a lot of fireworks here. I think it's about these defenses. And if the Browns, the Vikings, they do a good job, too. They've taken the football away in 20 of their last 21 games. That streak was snapped, actually, last week in Dublin, Ireland against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you can control the football, and your defense, I think, can go out and win you this football game.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. Which defense wins it? Which offensive line really can patch something together to protect their quarterback? Carson Wentz is the veteran. He has been here before. He's played overseas before. Dillon Gabriel, first NFL start. I'm rooting for him. I thought
Absolutely.
Friend of the program, Kyle Brandt, was great this morning on Good Morning Football back home on NFL Network saying, hey, everybody, you know what? Let's root for Dillon Gabriel. Or this is a fantastic story, right? A fantastic story. Let's. I know I'm rooting for him. You are as well.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, let's go get a win. We're going to be all these rookies: Gabriel, Judkins, Fannin, Isaiah Bond, just on the offensive side. Dylan Sampson. It's going to be fun to watch. All right, storm's coming in. We got our weatherman Gibbe here. I even think maybe do I see a little bit of rain already here? Gibbe?
No, I don't.
Not yet.
See.
Okay, all right, but it's coming.
But that is news, Bob. I mean, it may rain and rain a lot tomorrow. So the Browns are scheduled to practice outside, right? They would have to go find a bubble down the street. There is one down the street. It's not a European football bubble.
Yes,
correct. So they'll get it in a practice, but that may affect things tomorrow.
Yeah, you would have to think that it certainly would as you're coming in here, getting off the plane on that red eye. Tomorrow's the really only day of real practice for the Cleveland Browns. We'll see what that Mother Nature holds up. All right, Bo and Tyvis, back to you guys.
Hey, G-Man. Do you know, do the Premier League teams all have indoor facilities? I assume they do, or the best ones. They don't?
Mm-mm.
Does Chelsea? Arsenal?
Arsenal doesn't.
They go outside even in the rain?
Yep.
So then what would be our guys' problem with going in the rain, Tyvis?
Nothing.
Hit your button.
Oh, I got to hit it. Test it.
Hit that button.
There you go.
Man,
it got complicated.
Hassle. Nothing. Actually, it would. You got to embrace the rain, but for a couple more years.
Yeah, you got some ground moving over there today on that. That's big news, man. That's going to be exciting.
Real quick, we have our injury report from practice
Go
today.
ahead, G-Man.
This was a walkthrough, so it was estimated. Batonio, not injury-related rest, was full. Malik Collins, also full due to rest. Grant Delpit, back full. Jack Conklin, elbow, was limited again today. Myles Garrett, DNP yesterday. He was limited today with that ankle. Mike Hall did not practice today, and he's been ruled out for Sunday already. Cornelius Lucas was full. He was not injury-related as well. Greg Newsome popped up on the injury report today with a hamstring. He was limited. Njoku was limited yesterday. He was a full go today, estimated once again. For the Vikings, obviously you mentioned Donovan Jackson. He's out. He had wrist surgery. He did not practice. Juergens, the backup center, hamstring, did not practice. Ryan Kelly still in the protocol, did not practice, so they're going to have to go down to a third-string center, it's looking like. J.J. McCarthy with that ankle still did not practice, so looks like we might have Carson Wentz on Sunday. Dallas Turner popped up on the Vikings report with an illness. He did not practice today. And Andrew Van Ginkel also did not practice. Brian O'Neill, we know he sprained his MCL, so he'll be out a few weeks. So some big pieces missing from that Vikings team.
Massive pieces up front for them. I mean, we talked about it off the top. There's not enough quality offensive linemen to go around. From our perspective, boy, the Conklin thing, the Newsome one popped up, and you hope that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But geez, I don't know that anyone thought Jack would be in this spot here a month later, and still here you sit with him with the elbow.
Yeah, it's crazy because it happened in practice. That's the part that you hate the most. Obviously, if you wanted him to make it to Sundays, but with Dylan Gabriel being in as the left hand, like you want that blind side protected. So I'm hoping he can get it together.
Yeah, Mike Hall's still out too. Obviously, they didn't anticipate that at the start of the season that he would miss this many games, and he's already been ruled out. And then, I mean, obviously the Newsome one is the most newsworthy, and that'll be something we'll really want to pay attention to throughout, I guess, for them tonight and tomorrow morning, because I mean these Vikings, they got Addison back.
Yes.
So now they got the best or one
Jettis and Addison.
Either the best or 1A, and then Addison is probably the best. He's on a very short list of best number 2.
Yeah.
It's like him, Higgins. Who else is even in that? Probably Mech now, although Mech might be a 1.
And Mac, yeah.
With Evans out, he might be a 1, but it's a short
Devontae
list.
Smith.
There's one. Yeah. It's up there, though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that hamstring thing is so delicate because you can't, like, if it's tweaked a little bit, like, it's hard to go because if you go too hard, you're going to end up pulling the thing and you're really going to do some damage. So hopefully he's able to stretch, foam roll it out, hydrate, and hopefully he's feeling a little bit better because we definitely need him in that secondary. The corner position is already thin. So
Yeah,
we need him.
Absolutely. The Cleveland Browns High School Game of the Week, presented by Ohio Cat, showcases top matchups, rising stars across Northeast Ohio. Each week, fans vote for the game they want to see, and the winning team earns $3,000 in funding plus spotlight coverage on the Browns' social media channels. This week's finalists: Lake Catholic versus Elyria Catholic, Bedford and Garfield Heights, John Hay versus University School, and Cuyahoga Heights versus Fairview. Hey, G-Man, how is Wadsworth Hudson not on this? What do you and I got to do to get that? I mean, what are we doing?
It's a joke.
That's ridiculous.
Bedford's on it, so that's the
Okay, that's fine. You
Go
can
Bear-
have. I'm not
go
saying.
Bearcats.
I'm not saying not do yours. I'm just saying
Where's ours?
we're here every day.
You mad that you not on there with us?
Yeah, I want to be in the mix with you guys. Hey, it's a nice game.
If I gotta be honest, Heights and Fairview is a sneaky one, guys. So
See, there's another one, so that's fine. So you got to put. See, then you got 3, Kev. You got 3 that work.
Grizzlies, Explorers, where is it?
They got
Come
it.
on.
They're sharing the love.
I don't make
We got to.
decisions.
You got to
I
we
just
sharing
make
the,
sure
we
game's
sharing the love around Cleveland.
We haven't even done Hudson. We got Dante Lavelli's statue outside the stadium. Like, what do you want from us, for crying out loud here, folks? All right, we'll hit the matchups coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Game day cooler with the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, real brewed tea, 5% kick of alcohol. Look for that bright yellow can. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Time for the matchups presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Let's start with Dillon Gabriel and the Browns offense to have success against this Minnesota Viking defense. Your key is what, Mr. Powell?
Believe it or not, they need to run the ball effectively. I think that will open up everything, because now we're bringing back that play action. I think it'll clear up the picture for Dillon Gabriel in that passing attack. So if Quinshon and that interior of that offensive line can do a great job of getting those double teams, getting up to that linebacker and creating those seams, Quinshon has showed you that all he needs is a little slither. He is physical after contact. He keeps his feet moving. You do that, now those linebackers are thinking, we got to hurry up and get up there. Play action, now those over routes, that bang 8 is back. All of those things that Kevin wants to run will be back. So we have to run the ball effectively.
And he should run the ball effectively against them. You really should. It's the one part of their defense where you can have success.
Kenneth
you should be able to run it.
Gainwell went 99.
I know
went
it.
for 99 yards.
So I think that's it. And I think with a young quarterback, and you think about here, and you even go back to camp, and it's so impressive how far he's come from the first day of camp to what he was by the end of camp, let alone what he's been over the last month where we haven't seen him as much. But there are certain things he's very comfortable doing, and it's going to be really critical for Kevin and Tommy to put him in those spots early, and the run game's going to be a part of it. And it's going to be play action, move the pocket, get him on the perimeter, make easy throws,
he's good
see it, rip it.
He's good on throwing on the run.
He is.
He
and
throws a good ball on the run.
I would imagine it's a slightly different thing for a defense to prepare for in that he's much more comfortable rolling that way.
And then the difference between him and the preseason and now is he was just coming back from that hamstring in the preseason, so we haven't really even got a chance to see his full potential mobility-wise. You're talking about if it's 2nd and 10, if he has to use his legs to get 5 yards, it's easy to call 3rd and 5 versus 3rd and 10.
Yes.
So that is a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely is. So that's the word I think you're looking for is comfortable. Get him comfortable, and the offense should be able to hum from that point over. The standard's been very low. I mean, in terms of getting to 20 points, those type of things. It's time to kind of break through that. On the other side of the ball, the Browns defense must win against Minnesota's offense in which category on Sunday?
Oh, that defensive line has to take advantage of the fact that offensive line is dealing with some injury. We talked about Donovan Jackson being out, go Bucks. We talked about how the center, they're going to be down to their 3rd-string center, so now you could do some things. Our defensive tackles been playing really well. Mason Graham, Malik Collins have been wrecking shop this entire season. Now you try to put some twists in there, maybe throw Miles in there. That's scary. Don't let Carson Wentz get comfortable in this game because he do have some guys on the outside that can make some plays, and they will make some plays. But let's limit those opportunities by being able to get to that quarterback.
I just think about the constant duress he is going to be under on Sunday with this front. He threw for 350 yards last week. He did have 2 picks, but he threw for 350. Addison went over 100. Jefferson was just under it. That's what they want to do.
Well, I hope that if the ball is going to be in there, we need to get more takeaways. I think we were 31st in takeaways. We got 1 pick, two turnovers.
It's been quiet.
Yeah, that's the one thing on this defense that I would challenge. Is if the ball is going to be in the air and they're going to turn this thing into a 7-on-7, let's make some plays. That ball go up, it's ours. Let's go get something. Let's change the game. Let's help our offense out. You want to help the young guy? Give him the ball on the 10-yard line opposed to him have to march at 75 yards. Same thing you did with Joe Flacco to win that game against the Packers.
That's it. All right, there it is. Those are your matchups for Sunday presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. We'll get your fantasy minute with Dr. Z across the pond, your Thursday night football score as well. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. You're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elk and Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time now for your Fantasy Minute, presented by Scaleco Capital, proud private equity partners of your Cleveland Browns. We go back across the pond to Dr. Z.
All right, hello.
You're done.
Across the pond, let's get you ready for your fantasy football games here this week. And we're going to start with the defensive side of the football because that is where you can kind of get that week-to-week streamer, and we've given you some good ones so far this season. I think you could go tonight with the L.A. Rams. The Niners are banged up. Bigley, no Pearsall, no Brock Purdy, no Kittle, no Juwan Jennings. I think the Rams are going to have a field day, plus their line's pretty banged up. I like the Rams there. Some other defenses that I think you can pick up and play. The Chiefs have been playing very well. The Colts have been playing very well. I like both of those defenses as well. All right, quarterbacks this week, and we had quarterback injuries now. You're kind of scrambling. You thought you had Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. You were just set. Well, you're not just set. Daniel Jones, if you have not gotten him yet, go get him. He should be starting for your football teams. Jackson Dart against the New Orleans Saints, I think, is a very good start because of what he does with his legs. And then I think you look at Sam Darnold. I like the way that he's played of late. You can get him in your lineups there at the quarterback position. Running backs. Let's go with our guy right now. Let's talk about our guy, Quinshon Judkins. Must start every single week. The guy is an absolute must start for you every single week, so get him in your lineup. If you need to pick somebody up, PPR League, Amari DiMercado. Non-PPR League, Michael Carter, Arizona. They're going against Tennessee. That's a game where they should be dominant. Tennessee is struggling this year, so I think that you're talking about somebody right there that's got a very good opportunity to step in and be a flex option for you this week. Cam Scadaboo has reached much start every week status. Breece Hall now with Braylon Allen out. Let him roll. And then there's our guy, Woody Marks. Get him in your lineups, and I think you'll be very pleased with what you see. Really started to take over last week for Nick Chubb. So that's somebody that you want to have in your lineups. Quentin Johnston, he's been a must-start so far all year. Jalen Waddle, I like him now with Tyreek Hill out. He's got to get more opportunities. If you can trade for Ladd McConkey in your leagues, go ahead and try to make that deal. I think that he is undervalued right now because, frankly, he has not been very good. Same thing with A.J. Brown, same thing with Brian Thomas. If you can go out and get those guys, go out and get them. I think they're going to help your teams down the stretch. And then at the tight end position this week, Darren Waller, if he's on your waiver wire, give him a look. 2 touchdowns. Guy hadn't played football in years. 2 touchdowns right out of the gate. Ferguson in Dallas has really kind of become their de facto number 1 receiver. And then Brenton Strange down in Jacksonville. He has been very solid this season, especially in a PPR league. Back-to-back weeks with 6 catches. He's had at least 3 catches in every game so far this season. So that's your look at some guys help you win your fantasy football games here in week number 5.
There you go, Dr. Z in London with your Fantasy Minute. You play fantasy football?
I do. I'm in 3 leagues.
First time? Is this your first time? Or
No,
have you done it for a while?
I think this is my 3rd year playing fantasy.
My boys are in it, and
With you?
no, they can't afford my league. They're I only play in one. They so they're in it, and it's so funny to hear them try to understand how it is. So, for example, Beamsy has CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
So CeeDee Lamb gets hurt in the first quarter of the game 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, Dad, I want to pull CeeDee Lamb out.
Yeah,
Too late.
I'm about to say you locked in.
He said, what do you mean? He's hurt. I'm like, I understand it. Okay? I understand it. We all understand it.
You lost this week.
You're out.
Yeah,
That's
lost.
it. Yeah. And then, like, he was so fired up about who was the player he was so mad about? Amarian Hampton.
Okay.
So it's slow start to the season.
Yeah.
So he wants to cut him.
It's funny because I got him on
You
my
got him,
team and
yeah.
I felt the same way.
So he's like, cut him. So I'm like,
the last
no.
2 weeks.
2 minutes.
I'm like, dude, don't.
Yeah.
Be
You
patient.
got to ride it out.
Be patient. It's a long year.
The thing about fantasy is this. If you're going to win your fantasy league, there's 2 ways to do it. One, you have to get that quarterback wide receiver duo. If you get that going
helps.
for them points, and you have to hit on one of the rookies. I think that's the key. If you get the rookie running back or that rookie wide receiver, like a Mecca, if you got a Mecca right now,
You're cruising.
which I do on one of my teams, I got a Mecca and Baker, so I'm getting that connection,
Getting a double.
and I'm just rolling.
Yeah.
4-0 in that league.
That's where you get to take off. We got one in your old stomping grounds, the Rams and Niners. You spent time with the 49ers. Did you ever get to the Rams?
No, I never made it to the Rams. Ironically, I was about to go to the Cardinals. So this is what happened. I got cut from San Fran, and I was back at home for a couple of weeks. I was on the plane headed to Arizona to do a workout. I landed in Arizona. When I landed, my agent called me and said, "Hey, San Fran wants to sign you to the active roster." I called Arizona and said, "Yeah, I'm going back to San Fran."
I'm going straight back to the Bay, baby. It is the 49ers at the Rams. Who do you got tonight, buddy?
San Fran got too many injuries. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I see it the same way you do. I know Dr. Z does too. On a Thursday, remember a Thursday edition, I just feel poor old Niners, no Purdy, no Nick Bosa, everybody out.
They dropping like flies.
It's Rams by 1.5 billion. I mean, I think the score in this one could be like 91-2. I think it's in play. So enjoy your Thursday night football. We are back tomorrow on a Football Friday edition. Thanks for listening, everybody. Go Guards. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.